What's happening? Y'all already know who I am. Today I decided, what the hell? Let's go ahead and get Elimination Chamber out the way. I'm not going to be able to do Raw tomorrow because of Valentine's Day. And by the way, I'd like to wish happy Valentine's Day to you and yours out there. And for those who don't know what I'm talking about, here in America, Valentine's Day is a day where people express their love for each other and they sit on the couch, they eat bonbons, and they cry over soap operas and shit like that. And they do other things. Yeah. Um, anyway, this commentary is just going to be Elimination Chamber thoughts and thoughts about The Undertaker and other stuff. All right. First off, let's get into Elimination Chamber. Miz versus Jerry Lawler. Um, I could see Jerry Lawler winning it for one damn day and then dropping it to The Miz the next night. But expect Miz going to WrestleMania as world champion. My prediction for this pay-per-view, for this match, is I'd like to see Miz win, but I think they're going to give it to Jerry Lawler just for one night. And then we got John Cena versus King Lamass versus Randy Borton versus that Cookie Monster guy, and the next Shawn Michaels versus the guy who calls, who can't get the city's names right. You know, long story short, R-Truth is not going to win. It's not going to happen. Randy Orton and CM Punk are facing each other at WrestleMania anyway. So there you go with that. And then let's see, Sheamus. I don't know what they have planned for him, so I don't see him winning it. I would mark the fuck out to see John Morrison versus The Miz at WrestleMania. Man, given their history, it would be great. You could say Miz carried John Morrison those years that they were together. And you could say, Miz was always the better talker. He was always, better than John Morrison, basically. And at WrestleMania, I'm going to prove to you that I am once and for all better than you. And there is nobody that is going to stop me from holding on to this WWE Championship. But looking at it realistically, the purple-headed dragon of the Sing-Along Friends, the captain of that Sing-Along Friend team, is going to win this thing. He's going to face The Miz at WrestleMania and probably win the fucking title back, which most people are not mentally prepared to see. And then we got the World Heavyweight Chamber matchup. Edge versus Mr. Perfect Jr. versus the guy who can't get a crowd reaction versus Ray Steel Stereos versus the glorified jobber versus the Englishman with the shittiest finisher of all time. Dolph Ziggler's not going to win. Despite the main event push, he's not ready yet. Maybe he could win the Money in the Bank at WrestleMania, assuming they have that match, which WWE do so. The guy who can't get a crowd reaction, he's going to probably turn face at some point. They've been teasing that now, and I've heard they could have Smelly Kelly or whatever the hell these kids say in the PG rating come back as a heel, which, whatever. Kane is a glorified jobber now. He's been for a long time. Even when they gave him the main event push last year, I still thought of him as a glorified jobber. And Wade Barrett, him and the Core are going to be facing the new Nexus at WrestleMania. So the most likely choice I could see is WWE could do Edge versus Del Rio like they've been planning. Or they could put Rey Mysterio in there along with Edge versus Alberto Del Rio, which, we already got a one-on-one match for WrestleMania, which I've got no problem with. Or we could see Rey versus Del Rio. Personally, I would say let's have it come down to Edge and Rey Mysterio. And then, have Edge beat Rey Mysterio, go to WrestleMania, do the job to ADR, then have ADR versus Rey in the coming months. That way, SmackDown will still be the better show going on. That's my prediction for Elimination Chamber. And now, regarding The Undertaker, I've been wanting to touch on this and this whole Sting garbage. 221, which is next Monday in 8 damn days, it's most likely not going to be Sting. If anything, it's going to be The Undertaker debuting in a new gimmick. They've basically even been saying that, the dead man gimmick has kind of run its course. So this is probably a Western version of The Undertaker, which, we've seen it before back in the early 90s when Taker debuted. He had the tie and kind of the Western look. That was The Undertaker. And, this could be the resurrection of the human side of the Undertaker. I mean, you never know. This could be the resurrection of the Big Evil or the American Badass Undertaker. Fans have been wanting to see that Undertaker come back since the Dead Man's been stale for the last couple, 2-3 years. And all right, for those of you that don't know, this is a spoiler alert, so stop the video right now if you don't care about spoilers. Hunter has herpes is most likely set to come back and feud with The Undertaker. Triple H, you retired my best friend, so I had to attack you last week on Raw because of what you did to Shawn Michaels, Undertaker. So, well, I want revenge, and I'm not having it. And in honor of Shawn Michaels, I'm putting my career on the line at WrestleMania. Well, I'm down with that. Suck it. That's basically how it's going to go. Undertaker versus Triple H. And next year, would I like to see Undertaker versus Sting happen? Yes, I would. Because, I think it would be great if you had Sting sign a deal with the WWE around Royal Rumble time. Taker debuts, or not Taker, but Sting debuts at the Royal Rumble. Him and Taker have a stare down for 5 to 10 minutes. That alone would be a mark out moment. And then you would not have these guys touch each other at all until WrestleMania. It would be one of those things like Taz versus Sabu. Every time they were about to go at it, the camera would fade to black. That would be the same thing. And then an Elimination Chamber. This is all Thriller 2 Reigns' idea. He basically wrote this down in the comment section of his video. So I'm just going along with what he came up with. Then at Chamber, just when you think Taker Sting are about to get it on next year, Drew McIntyre or Dolph Ziggler eliminate The Undertaker and Sting with roll-up type stuff so they never get to go at it. And then Taker and Sting hit their finishers on the people who eliminated them. And then at WrestleMania, they finally touch each other. And eventually it leads to a series of tag team matches and all this bullshit of both guys turning on the other. They win the tag team titles. They hate each other. And then it all ends at Buried Alive, in a Buried Alive match at like Survivor Series or Bragging Rights or some shit, with The Undertaker ultimately defeating Sting, which would be a good idea. And I do think Thriller 2 Reign needs to go right for the fucking WWE. It would be he would be an awesome writer for those guys. But knowing WWE, they have Hollywood writers who never, ever, ever, ever have probably watched a wrestling match in their life. They just came in and they said, okay, well, this is a job. I can get paid. Cool. And that's kind of that. And in regards to The Undertaker, would I like to see the next year's WrestleMania be the last WrestleMania? Yes, I would. Because despite how amazing The Undertaker is, and I know I just pissed off all the Undertaker fans, but I'm sorry. Despite how awesome and amazing and everything he's ever done, I get tired of seeing him come out there and having to cough and, looking like he's just broke down and beat up, and he has slowed down a lot. And this is coming from an Undertaker mark, and I can admit that shit. I know the IWC is not really big on The Undertaker, but, man, next year, Undertaker, or in a couple of years, by WrestleMania 30, I think it'll be time to go, dude. It really will be. I think it's either going to be next year when he faces either John Cena or Sting, or if he can hang on to WrestleMania 30 and wait to face Cena there. Man, Taker, it's going to be time to go, dude. And in regards to Triple H winding down his career and possibly feuding with The Undertaker at WrestleMania, and if Triple H is going to be retiring as a wrestler, thank freaking God if he is. Because, believe it or not, I'm tired of seeing Triple H too. Granted, he hasn't been back at all in like almost a year. I'm tired of seeing Triple H too. And I know that's going to piss off a lot of people. He is stale as fuck. I think the best way you can utilize Triple H is you keep him around as the GM, but you don't have people know that it's him. And that's my thoughts on that. So, anyway, guys, once again, hope you have a happy Valentine's Day. And I will catch you all maybe later on in the week. And oh, before I leave, people have been asking me, about this whole, they've been talking to me about this whole boycott WWE TNA type deal. And the thing is, okay, am I still going to be leaving after WrestleMania? Yep. The reason being is because it could take as little as for the next night's Raw to be garbage, and then you fall right back into the same trap. WWE's been known to do that. WrestleMania delivers, the next night's Raw is garbage. But if you're wondering, will I plan on coming back and talking about wrestling? Yeah. But I think it's going to be more on the SmackDown side of things. I'm kind of done with Raw after Mania. I'm not going to care to watch Raw. The only time really to watch Raw, to be perfectly honest with you guys, is maybe Survivor Series through WrestleMania. And that's about it. There's no reason to watch Raw the rest of the year afterwards. SmackDown is the A show in many people's minds and in my mind. And SmackDown is always going to be the A show as long as they do good, solid wrestling. They keep the promo time to a minimum. And there you go. And in the future, guys, I'm going to let you all know now that there will come a time where this D Jose channel is not just going to be associated with wrestling. I'm going to talk about life, music, video games, and other sports and stuff like that. So when I come back from my hiatus in a few months, don't expect this channel to be fully a wrestling channel. And that's all I got to say. Thank you guys for the support, and peace out.